Hi, I'm Lita Leapin.
And I'm Jim Gordon.
Welcome to another edition of Our City Tonight.
Well, Lita, we find ourselves in Chinatown at a great location, Salt, with plenty of food in front of us.
Oh, well, this is indicative of what's coming up in the episode, Bosa Foods.
That's right. That comes after you watch this. This segment is sponsored by Bosa Foods, with 2 locations to serve you. Bosa Foods, authentic Italian.
Well, we find ourselves here in Chinatown with probably a familiar face, a couple familiar faces for our show. We are with Sean, and he is the owner of Salt. And some of our viewers might remember that Salt used to be in Gastown, and now it has moved, brand new, grand reopening in Chinatown. And we're very excited to have Sean on the show with our good friend Scotty from Bosa.
Hi,
and you've got some great things to share with us today about charcuterie boards and, again, entertaining at home, but coming down to Salt as well to taste these amazing Bosa products.
Absolutely. Well, it's good to be back. Yes, charcuterie board's a very important thing, and we bring in so much beautiful meats and cheeses from around Europe and around the world. And it's great that we work with Sean on a lot of things on his menu development and support him with all these products that we're gonna use today to build a charcuterie board.
Everything in front of us looks so amazing. Now, Sean, you are an expert. I know we're going to talk a little bit later about your background in cheese. Share with us what you do here in this amazing restaurant.
Yeah, so the basis of Salt is to mix and match, to build relationships between cheese and meat and condiments, and then match it with wine. Today what we have is a selection of cheese, a selection of meats, some of the stalwarts, the product that we get from Bosa that we rely heavily on. And I just wanted to, maybe I go through it with you and show you how we pair and what we might pair.
Sounds wonderful.
Good.
Okay. So in any cheese board, you want to make sure that you have a selection of cheeses, not just in textures, but also you want to make sure that you have a selection that are either types. So for example, sheep or goat, soft or hard, blue, something safe, something exotic. Today we have a nice Beaufort, which is kind of like a French cheddar. It's quite smelly, so...
In a good way?
In a good way, yeah. Is there a bad smell when it comes to cheese?
I don't know.
Think so. So we'd cut a little bit off. Some cheeses you want to leave whole, so people can cut their own pieces, especially something soft. Some cheeses you want to have cut to help your guest out.
Okay.
So something like this, you're not going to put all that in your mouth, and you don't want to have them have a little plate off to the side and then try to cut that. So you're going to help them out by cut this into smaller pieces.
Some bite-sized portions.
Bite-sized pieces, right? Exactly.
I'm sure that's a question for a lot of people. Which cheeses do I cut? Which cheeses do I not
Leave
cut?
whole.
I mean, anything that's going to offer difficulty in cutting for a customer, because remember, they've got a glass in one hand and a plate in the other. So we're going to cut just another piece of this to give you an idea.
Perfect.
And after we do that, we would go with, say, something soft. So we go with the soft brie in this situation.
So this is our Le Savier brie from Normandy that we brought
That's right.
for you?
And just place that there. Let people, that's a very easy one. People can do that with a spoon if they want. So you're not worried about that so much.
Perfect.
Okay.
Something like this, again, this is going to be your rosemary encrusted pecorino. And this one is a little, the pecorino, the rosemary can be a little tart. It can get people's teeth. So it's not one that you want to have out there in large quantities, but people that have it will really appreciate that you put it out there. So again, we'll do little shards here so they can pick.
That aroma.
And yes, it's
That
very
rosemary
strong.
kind of wafting out.
Oh,
yeah.
wonderful.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because, again, walking around Bosa, you can have everything you need, and you work with such amazing chefs that are throughout the city, and we're starting to learn this more and more that the top chefs come to Bosa.
Absolutely. So we're always excited to showcase new things and invite chefs to come through and look at what we're doing. And it's really a place where you can come and learn about products. And this is going to, drive creativity and inspiration. It's a very inspiring place to be if you love food.
I like dealing with Bosa because at the end of the day, if they don't have what I want, they'll have something else that they can substitute in. So I'm never at a loss. And for me, I've got to find 8 different kinds of cheese, 8 different kinds of meat, 8 different kinds of condiments consistently. So that in the halfway through the week I might run out of something. I need to have something of high enough quality to substitute in, and I know that they're not going to let me down. So
wonderful. Well, it sounds like an amazing partnership, and we're so excited to be here. And it's so excited that the reopening of Salt too, to be able to experience it ourselves. We'll definitely be back.
Absolutely.
So now we built the plate. It would be bigger, obviously, depending on how many people you're going to have. In this situation, we're going to add the condiments to it. So you've got here, this is Bosa's Okanagan Falls.
Yes, this is our Okanagan Falls Spicy Fig, which is going to give you some sweetness, that beautiful fig flavor, and just a little hint of spice, just to give it a little bite.
That's
so something like that is going to go with the blue.
Okay.
Because otherwise it might overpower something else, or the blue might overpower something common, nicer, small that you put in there. So I'm going to take some quince paste. The quince paste I'm going to put with the brie, and then we're going to take some garlicky tart cornichon and put that with the rosemary. And then we've got a few olives, mixed olives, to put with the Beaufort. So it's all about mix and match. Now, bear in mind also that you can eat the olives with the brie or whatever. It's not just set in stone. Okay. The other thing we do is obviously crackers. And I always say that crackers should be as plain as possible. These are actually baguettes that are a day old. We cut them up, put them in the oven, toast them. But you have a really good product like that, the croquantini.
Yeah, the flatbreads, the Preferisco croquantini.
And because you don't want the flavor of the croquantini competing, so you want something as plain as possible because there's a vehicle to get this flavor into your mouth.
So just maybe a little sea salt, olive oil.
A little sea salt is good, yeah.
Perfect. So there's no punishment for reaching for the wrong thing and salt, huh?
Never, never.
Wonderful. Thank you, guys. And we're going to look at this a little bit more closely right away.
Well, we've gone from the bar over to a table. Scotty and Sean are with us. Before we get to the food, Sean, let's give a little background on you. Before Salt, some great experience with cheeses in the UK.
Yeah, when I was 19, I was working in London. I got a job in a French restaurant. The maitre d' came back from his vacation and found me and wasn't too happy that I was there, didn't like me. So he told me that issued a challenge. The next day I would have to learn about the 28 cheese on the trolley and recite them, otherwise I wouldn't be working there. And some of the guys that I was working with liked me, they stayed up all night with me.
Nice.
The next day I did 22 of the 28 cheeses and I got my job and I fell in love with cheese as a result.
And of course you still look to this guy.
Because I'm so fortunate to work with Sean for so many years, I go consult Sean, I pick his brain on all his expertise on cheese because I'm always still learning. I sell the products, but I still rely heavily on experts like Sean to just give me some insight, give me a little bit more detail, origins and production and just expertise on cheese. Sean's great for that and I'm lucky to be able to work with him.
I was going to say, it's great this relationship that you have with people like Sean where he can come in, look for something. If you don't have it, you'll advise something else and vice versa. You're advising on cheese.
Yeah, and that's the true spirit of what we do. We inspire, we collaborate, right? Like we have collaborative energy and then we try to bring these products to the people.
Excellent. Hey, let's talk about some of the meats you've got on the table here. Sean, of course, all available at Bosa.
Yeah, it's always important to have a beef offering, like chicken liver pate as well, something that isn't pork. And today we have the beef brazola, which is delicious. We also have finocchiona, which is a fennel-flavored salami from Italy. Then we have the mortadella, which is a particularly...
That's our new one there that we brought in with infused with pistachios, whole pistachios, and truffles, Italian truffles.
Wow.
It's quite luxurious mortadella.
Very nice.
It's a fancy bologna.
It's a fancy bologna, it's like elevated. And then finally we have our beautiful Don Pedro Iberico chorizo, which is the pata negra, which you can...
well, it's the black hoof pig. It's the only animal in the world that can exist with 48% body fat.
Wow. 48%
body fat, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I know a few guys like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, that reminds me of my college years. So, and again, all this available at Bosa. You've seen our segments before.
And Salt.
Folks, and Salt, of course, yes. You can certainly get advice from Sean here at Salt or Scotty or anybody else at Bosa. Of course, some great wine pairings here. Let's talk about hours here at Salt.
Yeah, we're open Wednesday to Sunday, 5 p.m. until 10:30.
Okay.
We hope to be open 7 days a week, but we're just getting our feet now. So.
Good to be here in Chinatown. We don't get here enough, so it's been great to get here at Salt. We're going to come back at the end of the show, Lee and I, with Scotty, because he's got one more product he wants to show to our viewers. That'll be later in the show. This segment was sponsored by Bosa Foods, with 2 locations to serve you. Bosa Foods, authentic Italian.
Well, we're super excited to have our good friend, Harry Hertzjeg, back on the show. For those viewers that have joined us many times, they would recognize this man, the executive director of the Vancouver International Wine Festival. And what does that mean? It is upon us.
It's upon us, the 45th annual Vancouver International Wine Festival, and we're back at the end of February, early March, where we belong.
Yes.
We're really excited. Harry, I think in our, now 10-year history, you are our longest partner. You have been on our show since the very beginning, and we're back again this year. What is the big theme this year? And I know it's a country that Lita and I love.
Italy.
Oh, yay! Again, clapping. Stop clapping.
Sorry, I can't help it. I love it, Italy.
And we're promoting it as Discover Italy. Sure, a lot of people have gone to Italy, traveled to Italy,
Right.
tasted Italian wines, had Italian dinners, but Italy has 3,000 years of history with wine, and there is so much to discover. We know that the #1 reason that people come to the wine festival is to discover new wines, and we have Italian wines from 13 different regions, Tuscany, Veneto, Piedmont. There's lots of different grapes, and it's not the usual suspects. Chardonnay, Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot. It's like Pinot Grigio and Trebbiano, Nebbiolo, Sangiovese. There's a lot of excitement, and the Italians feel a real sense of pride in their regions and their villages. And so this is a real chance to tap into Italian history, culture, wine, food. I'm excited.
Oh, totally, I can tell. We're excited too. And the interesting thing is, if you can't get to Italy in the next little while, this is like being in Italy because you're going to have wines that you can't buy here.
Every wine you taste in the upcoming tasting room over 3 nights and the Saturday afternoon, all the wines that you can taste are available for sale at the on-site BC liquor store. And also,
Wonderful.
we have 71 Italian wineries, and each one of them is bringing an owner or principal or senior executive. Get this, out of the 71 wineries, I counted them, 20 of the people behind the table actually have the same last name as you see on the label.
Wow.
And there's also other owners of winemakers, just happen to have different names. So you're really talking to the people who are passionate about the wine, who produce the wine, and some of them are like 3, 6, 9 generations deep into this thing.
Yeah, we've always learned a ton when we come to the wine
Absolutely.
festival.
Now, you've chosen, you can, of course, bring all the wines here, but you've chosen 4. Let's start with the one closest to you.
This is, it's a beautiful bottle, isn't it?
Fantastic.
It's Prosecco, sparkling wine. There's gonna be a lot of Prosecco. It's a great way to kick off a party, a great way to kick off your wine festival experience. And we also have a Pinot Grigio from Della Venezia, and very popular, very refreshing, great with aperitifs. And then somewhat of an unusual wine that's getting a lot of traction is Lambrusco,
Okay.
which some people might remember as thinking, that's that frothy, sweet red. This is a dry Lambrusco, fantastic with pizza and it's like if you're having a happy hour or aperitivo hour. So when you're hitting the tables, look out for the Lambruscos. And at the tasting room, we're going to have an on-site tasting station for Italy where people can help you find your Barolos and your Barbarescos and your Brunellos. Speaking of which, one of my favorite Italian wines, I don't want to play any favorites, but Brunello di Montalcino, 100% Sangiovese from Tuscany, one of the great flagship wines of Italy.
Wow.
Okay.
There's so many things to look for during this festival. I think for our viewers, we always get asked, Lita and I do, what are the key dates for viewers that want to show up for tasting rooms? I know it's over a 3-day period.
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evening. And this year, February 29th.
So 29th right to the...
March 1st and March 2nd.
Right.
And February
right.
29th has a tradition of women asking men to get married. So it's a very romantic opportunity to come to the tasting room. So,
Love is in the
and
air.
meet some, wonderful Italian men and women.
That's amore, right?
Amore.
Amore, definitely.
We should also mention too that, as you said, there are so many great winemakers coming to this event, and people can get access when they're at the various stations and booths. Talk a little bit about that, because that is kind of unique to what you do.
I love tasting the wine. I love the aromas and flavors. I mean, in a sense, wine is the art of the sense of smell and the sense of taste, the way music is the art of what you hear, and paintings and theaters, what you see. So, but to not only connect with these amazing beverages that we've had for 1,000 years, but to actually connect with the person, look them in the eye and say, oh, you actually made this? Like, tell me more about it. And one of the great things I find is they can give you great travel tips. They might even invite you to their villa or, to a private tasting. And the wine community and the wine industry is so generous. And it's an opportunity to mingle with these people and get tips about wine and food pairings, travel tips, wine tips. And it's just a great camaraderie. Wine is part of our culture, and not only will there be 71 participating wineries, but there's also going to be 27 participating British Columbia wineries, and another 80 or so wineries from the rest of the world, 12 countries in all.
Is there any people in particular that you're really excited? I know you said you can't pick favorites, but you draw some very, very significant people to this wine festival.
We're inviting our keynote speaker, who is going to be in some of our seminars and will also be in the tasting room, Filippo Bartolata. He's from Florence, and he's a very passionate person. He's worked with Stephen Spurrier in London for many years, and he's very excited about sharing his knowledge with Italy.
And Harry, for our viewers, where can they find out more information on the Wine Festival?
vanwinefest.ca, and look for Festival at a Glance. Has all 42 events, and you can see the status, whether it's sold out or not. Click on, and it's got all the details, and the price you see is the price you pay. And so I'm looking forward to the Wine Festival and seeing you in the tasting room soon enough.
Perfect. Are you going to open some wine for us?
All right, let's get started.
I think so.
There we go.
After making us salivate and listen to all these fabulous wines, we might as well do that.
While we're salivating, I should mention, before I over-salivate, that Harry, of course, will be back on our show again right in the middle of the Wine Festival on that tasting day. And we'll also have some other great wineries and people from those places from all over the world. That'll be coming up in a later episode.
Okay,
Our City Tonight. Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers, Harry.
Cheers. Cheers.
Well, we hope you're enjoying this episode of Our City Tonight, taking a little break here in the Cabana Lounge at Hydra Restaurant to remind you, as we always like to do, to check out one of our dear partners, and they are Lita.
The Richmond Sentinel, where you can find news and interesting interviews with all kinds of people, including celebrities.
That's right. You can also find a couple of the columns that we do and a lot of stuff connected with Our City Tonight. You can also find them online, of course, print the old-fashioned way, but you can also find them online. The website is richmondsentinel.ca. Thanks to them, and thank you for watching. Well, Lita, I find myself with you for the second time in less than a year over in Ambleside, a cozy little community, and we're outside of Ancora Restaurant, which is part of the Viaggio hospitality. Why are we here today?
Well, we got to point out that it's in West Vancouver.
Yes.
And just over the bridge. We are here to taste some amazing cocktails. Our favorite Choya brand has partnered with Ancora.
Let's go inside where it's warmer.
While we're here inside Ancora, Ambleside location, love this restaurant. It is so, so beautiful. And I'm here with Sephora, who is the general manager. And we are going to talk a little bit about your partnership with Choya brand. But first, tell us a little bit about the, about Ancora and their general direction.
Absolutely, thank you. We are Nikkei, which is a Japanese Peruvian culture in Peru. So everything we do here stems from that, Peruvian spices, Japanese techniques, and the bounty of the West Coast. So we take this Nikkei throughout the entire restaurant here, from our cocktails to the wine and of course the cuisine.
Well, what a great partnership, because you have created some beautiful and imaginative cocktails here with the Choya brand. So we're going to start with this beautiful one in front of me.
Well, thank you. This one is the Cerula Diablo, which is also called the Plum Devil. It is based with Choya 23, the ume fruit. And then we have a Japanese whiskey, an Amaro Nonino, and plum and root beer bitters to tie it all together.
Wow, sounds absolutely delicious. I will sip that after. What do we have in the beautiful Nicanora glass?
This one is chotomate. So at Ancora, we like you to sit back and enjoy your cocktail before you have your dinner. So this one, chotomate, a little bit of a cheekiness from our staff. It means, in Japanese, it means to just a minute, actually just a minute. So we like you to take your time with this cocktail. It is Choya Uji green tea and Choya 23, as well as a little bit of a Barso Pisco and Sheringham lemon. So same idea, we have our Japanese, Peruvian, and a little bit of a West Coast with Sheringham to tie it all together.
Oh, that's great. You're using some locals as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, the last one looks absolutely refreshing.
This one has been a work in progress with my bar team and one of my favorite bartenders, Katie Slacks. She and I have put this together, and this is majority of a Choya. So yuzu is a great product. So yuzu is a citrus fruit. We take passion fruit, a little bit of a pisco as well, and lemon moringa bitters just to bring it all together.
Oh, these are absolutely wonderful. I am going to be tasting them.
hope
And then
so.
we're going to talk a little bit more about the Choya brand with some of the Choya crew.
Excellent.
Thanks, Sephora.
Thank you.
Well, here at Ancora, with the beautiful view of the whole restaurant behind us. Of course, we're here when nobody is here because it's not open yet. And I am here with Miyuki and Mickey from Access Planning Inc., who represents the Choya brand. So we're going to dive right into the brand, and you're going to share a little bit about that.
Sure. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for having us today.
Oh, our pleasure.
Thank you so much. So we are very excited to introduce Choya Umeshu brand in our city tonight.
Yeah, well, you've been, your group have been on the show 3 times now.
Yeah,
You're becoming
exactly.
veterans, so definitely. And we're going to keep learning more and more about your brand. Now, you've partnered with an amazing company, Ancora, and they make some great cocktails, which we just tried.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about, you're pretty impressed with the cocktails that they've been making with your brand.
Yes, yeah. They're all delicious and beautiful and great.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, we love that appearance. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, they
I
really
love
do.
it.
They do a
Really,
great job, and of
yeah.
course, I tasted them all. They're wonderful. Now let's talk about Choya brand in particular. They're very, very popular in Vancouver, but
No, it's very popular in Vancouver, but not only Vancouver, it's all over the world. It's becoming very, very popular now. Yes.
and we can see why, because the cocktails that can be made with these brands
Yes.
are absolutely memorable. And in particular, the Plum Devil, I love this, that Sephora made. Tell us a little bit about this, the fruit that is used.
Sure. Ume is one of traditional Japanese fruits, and the ume is totally different from Japanese plum or apricot.
Okay.
You cannot consume itself directly from the tree.
Okay, so it's not like an apple and an orange or anything.
Exactly.
'Cause-
Yeah.
all right.
And that ume is soaked with alcohol for a long time in the process of making umeshu.
Okay, great. Now you wanted me to try this just by itself, and this is, again, they come in packages like that. You were sharing that it's,
Yes.
as it's not a fruit that you pick off the tree and eat, but there's so many other ways to enjoy
Yeah,
this.
Exactly.
Tell us that.
Yes.
How can you enjoy?
So we usually like a snack, or put
great.
in the garnish
I
for
like
the
it.
cocktail, or put it up into the yogurt or cream cheese and spread to the crackers for like appetizer. So
I can see that being on a charcuterie board with on a cracker and with some.
that's right. You can enjoy many
That
ways.
is delicious. Very, very citrusy.
That's great.
Love it.
glad to hear that.
So the ume fruit, as you said, it's not like the Japanese plum or apricot or anything. It's completely unique. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so going into Choya again, how long have they been making this brand?
Oh, well, Choya brand actually started to produce wine first, like long time ago.
Okay.
But the company started to produce umeshu since 1959.
Oh, wow. So they've been around a long time. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they're very popular. There's some amazing things to be done with it.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
And also, the Choya company produced only honkaku umeshu. It means like the umeshu made with only natural ingredients.
Oh,
It
okay.
never used artificial flavoring or coloring.
Oh, okay.
It's
People will be happy to hear that it's actually healthy cocktails, right?
That's right.
You gotta love that. Well, everything's been delicious. Some great cocktails. Thanks to Sephora and the gang here at Ancora, and thank you to Access Planning Inc. and all of our great team that we love working with you.
Thank you
Thank you so much.
Closed captioning and other promotional considerations provided by Hamilton High Street Senior Residence, Richmond's newest senior living community. Back here at Salt in Chinatown, where we began the episode. Scott's still with us. Scott, we have not touched the food yet. Honest, well, little we have actually, folks. Scott, you have a brand new product that came out brand new. It came out in January, but here we are in February. Let's talk about what this is, because I know Sean's ears are perking behind us.
It's that. I got you, chef. It's I never like to come see Sean empty-handed. So today I brought brand new dried fried chili peppers from Italy.
Interesting.
Yeah, light and beautiful, just seasoned with olive oil and some salt. Lita, I'd love for you to try some.
Definitely, I am in.
So this is
big one.
pretty good. So this is now available at
wow.
Boza Foods. You'll find it at Salt. Sean, I got you. Don't worry. This is yours.
All over it.
We're gonna have to arm wrestle for that one.
There could be a fight after the show.
It's that
Okay,
good.
that's delicious.
Hey, it's another Bosa segment in an episode. Check out both their locations on Kootenai Street and Victoria Drive. Yeah,
You
got that
bet.
right. There we go. Okay, I'm Jim Gordon.
And I'm Little Leap Benz.
Enjoy your February, and we'll see you again on Our City Tonight.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Now we can eat. Don't forget to check out past episodes and individual interviews, all on the Our City Tonight YouTube channel. The Richmond Sentinel, providing news, entertainment, and human interest stories in print and online. While in Whistler, Our City Tonight stayed at the Blackcomb Lodge, serving guests in the heart of the village since 1980.